Okay, folks, we are playing Euro Truck Simulator 2. I'm in my truck. I got to I need to go to my map here. I got to go to my load to pick up. So this is going to be a test to see. Now I am playing with a keyboard and mouse. I don't have a wheel. I don't have a shifter. I am using not the simple automatic. I do. Oh, here I am speeding like a bat out of hell here. Excuse me. I'm not using this simple. Flabbergast. I'm going to turn that off. No matter what I try to turn it off, it doesn't turn off. So it looks like I'm playing with the fuel the whole time. So anyway, I am going to get my load, and I'm filming this because I want to test out, and I'm going to put this up on my channel. This will probably be my first video on my channel on a 40-year-old gamer. So many speeding tickets. There goes one reason why this should slow down. God, I wish. Oh, damn it. I hit the mic. Everybody in earphone land, I apologize. And of course it's not. Bugger. Oh, I got my speed control back. So we're gonna get myself off that because that is just silly at best. Get myself back to a proper speed. There we go, 70k. Okay. Oh, trials and tribulations. Let me tell you. Now that I'm done goofing around with my speed, and see, that's the thing. I'm playing this game with a keyboard and mouse. I don't have foot pedals, so it's not like I could sit there and I could float stuff. So, so it's not like I can drive this thing like I'm driving a regular car and just, you know, gradually give it fuel and whatever else to get myself going and, you know, brake to stop and the whole 9 yards. I am using keyboard controls, and as everybody knows, driving games kind of don't work very well with that because, hey, let's face it, you press a key, it is on or it is off. It is not a little bit on, it is not a little bit off. So, yeah, so, like I said, I got a programmable mouse here. It has 7 buttons on the side which I can control. Plus, actually, with the software, I can do a bunch with all the others. Which is good and bad because I've had to jump in and out of my default settings for my mouse to my Euro Truck settings for this because my left mouse button, or sorry, my right mouse button, I have programmed as my engine brake in here. Oh, crikey, here I am freaking flying a million miles an hour again. This game is a lot easier when you don't have to do this too often. 71k. There we go. 69. That's good enough. Okay. So, I fueled up. I slept. Going to pick up a load. And once I get there, I'm going to hook up to my load. And that's where I'm going to end this video. And that's going to be, because like I said, I just pretty much started doing this, and hooking everything up and getting everything organized. I figured, why not? Now, I just picked up this game not too long ago, just like a week ago. Seen it, I don't know how many times in the store, but just never figured. I seen it on sale, so I figured, why not? Let's give it a try. A couple bucks, whoopie dang. It's one of those games where you can enjoy. And I have. I don't know if. I mean, there's a few things I really do enjoy about this game that make it challenging. One is that I noticed that trucks have a different. They have a different speed limit. Like it says that it's 80 here in my navigational little area there. And now if I could just obey the law, I'd be fine. But if you notice, I'll pass signs that say like 90 or 110, and those are for cars. My speedo stays the same. Well, it's 80 across the board, which is nice. Now in North America, where I'm from, as you can tell by my accent, it's not the case. And it's a little frustrating when you're driving on the road and then you got this truck that's coming up behind you. And he's hot on you too. He's like right up your tailpipe. And then he goes to pass you. Now, in the summer, you're like, okay, fine. We can deal with that. But in the winter, oh dear Lord. Most trucks can see over the blowing snow, where most cars can't. And I'm talking big trucks. I'm not talking like your pickups. They see over the blowing snow. Their road condition hazards aren't as bad because they can see over a lot of that stuff. And so when you're in your car driving along, you are plowing through a lot of that stuff, so you don't get to see. And then the truck drives past you like you're standing still, and then you are there, kind of left holding your own butt because it is just not. It's just not fun. My wife actually went to one of the towns over to go pick up our kids. One of our children went on a trip with their school, and they got back, and it was late. It was about 9 o'clock. By then, it was already dark. It was middle of winter, and it was snowing. So the next town over, which was a bit down the main highway. She actually hit the ditch on the opposite side of the road, being passed by a truck that blinded her. She had no idea that she was actually going on the wrong side of the road. It could have been horrible. She had both kids. And it could have been very disastrous. The truck, whether it didn't notice that the lights disappeared behind her, couldn't see them, whatever, didn't care, he kept going. Luckily someone did stop and help my wife get out of the ditch. I was at home, didn't know what was going on, and before you guys, anybody says, hey, well, why didn't you call you on the cell phone? At the time, we didn't have cell phones. Where we lived, service was horrible. Service was really bad for cell phones, so it was almost throwing your money away to get a cell phone because you couldn't use it. So, but anyway, I digress. That's one of those little scenarios, I guess. But yeah, so we like I said, I purchased this game. I really love the fact that the rigs in this are really bound by a different set of laws. than your average public. I think that's great. I think that, you know, just because you're hauling freight doesn't mean you have to do 500 miles an hour. I do have sleep set in this, which you can see by the by my little heads-up display here. You'll see the little dude sleeping, and he's slowly turning blue, which means when he's fully blue, it's time for me to go curl up. And I'm out for 12 hours. And then, you know, you gotta do it all over again. I don't know if turning that off is gonna give me longer trips, because I'd love to do like a cross continent, like go from, you know, the far end of Poland and go all the way across to France, or go all the way up to, you know, Scandinavia and come all the way down. Now, I have been playing this game, like I said, for about a week, and I'm already set up. I'm, you know, as you could a few times scroll down on the bottom there, my heads-up display. I've had, I got 2 workers now, so I have 3 trucks. I'm driving one. I'm driving the newest one. I'm in a Volvo. My first truck was a DAF, and then my second truck was a Mercedes, and then I'm in this Volvo. I don't know why I'm chugging like that. But anyway, I'm in this Mercedes. I've had all my other trucks rigged up so that I was sitting so far back and I could have this huge wide angle. And I found that I had a really, like, it was great. Oh, here I am speeding again. It was good for a lot of reasons, but if you notice, there's the A-pillar over there by the mirror. Yeah, and then you got that big mirror there. Yeah, it just kind of sucked. So I went forward pretty much as far as I can and adjusted everything so that I can see better out the window, and, you know, I can do stuff a little bit better. And I don't know if I actually did get it better or not. So, I mean, I still got that mirror in the way, so I can't see all that well out there, but no, I put on my hazards there for a reason. One thing I love about this game is the AI really pays attention to things like to you when you use your signals. So when I turn my signal left, right, whatever, or I put my hazards on, cars that are coming up behind me, like you can see in my mirror there, cars that are coming up behind me, if they are trying to pass, if you give them a second to give them a second, sorry, I blew a shift there in an automatic, if you can believe that. If you give them a chance to react, they will react, they will slow down, they'll give you a chance to move over, they'll give you a chance to get what needs to be done, and I think that is great AI, actually. I played games where the AI is just absolutely horrible, and you just want to scream at them, call them idiots, because no matter what you do, and look at me, I'm hugging all the road here. Yeah, I just realized I made a mistake with my settings, because now that mirror's in the way and I can't see, so we are going to town here trying to pass this, and hopefully we don't get run over by that guy. Oh, that truck disappeared. Don't worry about it. So we're going to go over, and we're going to go in there and catch up. Oh, my loan. Yeah. $8,676 loan payment. Well, life of a trucker. You might make money, but you got big loan payments. So, again, I do apologize for the jumpiness of this screen, because I am working a mouse, and my mouse works my vision, so I try not to use my mouse as much as possible. I take my hand out of it as much as I can, but in the course of doing so, when I do need one of those buttons and controls that I have macroed into my mouse, when I go to grab it, it moves my vision, scrambles the screen. Oh, here I am speeding again, like talking away. So I'm distracted driving. Thank God they don't have that in here. Because I would be so... Whoa! And then again, not paying attention to stuff like, oh, look at the cops. I'd like to say that the cops are dicks in this. Most of my accidents have been caused by cops. And they are just downright dicks. Oh, look at him on gravel. Not saying they're horrible bad. They're doing their job in the most part. They give you speeding tickets, which, yes, I strongly agree with. But on the flip side of that coin, yes, we're gonna go there. And oh, great, my ride is gone. So, okay, we'll take that job then. I don't like those rushing jobs because a lot of those rushing jobs turn into like just horrendous flying down the highway and speeding because that's what you have to do to make money sometimes, and you want to be safe in this. So so this is me hanging my head up over the dog. This is just in case you have not played this game before. If you have played this game before, then I apologize. I am a noob at this. I made one huge mistake playing this game. And that I thought to myself, hey, I'm going to pick the most highest latitude-wise city that I can find. So I'm way up in, I can't remember where I'm at, up in, my main branch is up in Norway. And beautiful country up there, by the way. That is one thing I got to give props to these guys, because the scenery is just amazing. That's one thing I love about this game. I wish I could literally play this watching scenery. I can't. Don't get me wrong. I can pop my, use one of the other so-called cameras, and look out like over the truck, and I can zoom around, and as I'm driving along, I can look and go and check out the scenery. I want to. I'm not going to lie. But I also like this being in the cab. I think that's kind of cool. Oh crap, you know what I said? I was going to stop this game. Oh, there's a car. I'm cutting them off. Here I am. Yeah, get away. But anyway, so like I said, like driving through Norway, you get to see the fjords and like the bridges and like when you come across, I think that's really cool. Like I look at the trees. Granted, my computer, I am using a 2070 RX 2070, and I'm using a Core i5 8600K to game with. Not gonna lie, this is my first Intel. I built it myself. I'm not a fan of this Core i5 though. I was rocking Ryzen 7 1700X, and I ended up giving that to my niece because she was using just a Core Ryzen 3, and she was having problems playing I can't remember what game. She was having problems with loading times and all that kind of stuff. So I said, okay, for your birthday and for Christmas, here you go. She flipped over backwards and just loved it. I gave it to her, and then I purchased this. Because, everybody's like, oh, Intel makes a better gaming processor. Intel makes a better gaming processor. And for the most part, they probably do. I'm not going to say they don't. But I used to like watching Netflix when I would play Farming Sim. And I couldn't. This is a 6-core processor for people who don't know. No hyper-threading, though. So with no hyper-threading, that means that I couldn't do things like multitask very well at all. I lost that ability. So basically, I do have 2 monitors, but and my second monitor is a 1080. This one's a 144, whatever, Ultra HD. Acer Predator. Love this monitor. I got this monitor, and about 3 days after I set it up and was basking in its glory, thinking this is an amazing purchase that I made, and I was happy and proud of myself, I was taking a nice beautiful drink of coffee and instantly had to cough and speak coffee all over my beautiful monitor. Sacrilege. So, and of course all over my keyboard. Thank God it was a mechanical keyboard, because I took the whole thing apart, keys all off it, washed the whole thing down, and then had to look at my wife's keyboard to put everything back together, and that took a while. I really wish that I took more time to actually individually wash all the keys, because I just kind of dried them off, which is fine. They're not coffee gunked or anything like that, or big globs of stickiness or anything. But I noticed that they are dirty, and I mean, that would have been a perfect time for me to actually properly wash them. So yeah, what are you gonna do? I have 2 hours and 21 minus minutes to get my load to where I need to get to, and I think I should be able to do it before I start falling asleep. So yeah. So this is this game is, like I said, it's great. I don't have a lot of the DLC. I don't have Italy, which I'm really considering getting, and I don't have France. I have 4 towns in France. Actually, my one base is in France. I didn't realize. I thought it was in Germany, and I ended up setting it up in France. So it has 3 bays, which is amazing, which is really great. With those 3 bays, I have 2 trucks and 2 drivers set out of them, and they're making me money. Which is great. I'm happy. Like I said, when you're playing this game for the first time, if you are a noob and you've never played this game, don't go up to Norway, to the highest town, and set up. And there's a reason for that. And I mean, you can. I did it. And the thing that sucks about it is it increases the time that you can purchase your own truck, because you can only drive from basically the industrial area of town, which is on one side of the mountain, so you have to drive through a small little tunnel, to the other side, and the other side has another industrial area where my thing is, my base, which is only 1 bay, and it looks like a run-down horrible shack. Now granted, I can, if I wish, set that, purchase another one, which will give me more bays, and it's basically an upgrade. I can sell it, but I can't, because I have a truck running out of it, which is this truck, and I have a driver running out of it, which is me. So, but anyway, you basically are only driving short little distances. You're only making at the most $600 per trip. You're driving for somebody else. And I did try, just to confirm, I went and picked and started up another setup and tried it again. And I did it, I think it was out of Dusseldorf, Germany, and I was doing long runs, so I was making like $1,400 a trip. And so after 20,000, granted, depending on which truck you have for your first truck, mine I put DAF. There is a reason behind that. The reasoning behind the DAF is because where I work. I work for a truck dealership, and we can look up DAF parts. DAF, well, we're coming up on another toll road. That's the thing about Europe, is that there's so many toll roads. Mind you, playing this game, it doesn't seem like a horrible thing to have all these toll roads. I know they've talked about it where I live to put in a toll road, and I've complained mentally. Oh, I complain mentally all the time, by the way. And so they want to put in a toll road. So I was like, yeah, great. For me to get to my 9-to-5er, I got to drive this toll road every day. And if I got to do it 5 days a week, I got to pay for this toll road twice. So paying for this toll road twice sucks. I don't want to pay for this toll road twice, because even if it's $1 a day, or $1 per trip, let's say just $1 per trip, that is $14 a week. Or no, sorry, that's $10 a week, 14 if it was 7 days a week. And 14 times 52 is more money than I want to spend using a freaking road. Granted, I could drive through the city. If I drive through the city, that'll add another week and a half on my commute. So I guess I'm part of the public that just smiles and enjoys my government. Oh, yeah, good. I thought I was going to go the wrong way. Not paying attention. Yeah, I enjoy getting fondled by my government, I guess. Because, hey, if you're going to get fondled, you might as well enjoy it. So, I'm down to 1 hour and 10. If you can believe it, you've been hearing me yak this long. Crazy, isn't it? Let's pass. Yeah, screw it. Pass one. Yeah, I'm gonna take him. Probably doing 90 by the time I'm around the corner with him. But anyway, so yeah, I picked DAF, and the first DAF truck that you can purchase, the cheapest one, is $121,000. So you got to, and your I guess your loan increments are $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, and $400,000. And so, and you're only allowed to get the $400,000 or the $100,000 loan until you make enough money to be able to purchase. Once you purchase your truck, then I think you can up your loan. Oh, great gravy, Mike. Hold on, everybody. Just gotta get it back up to speed here. There we go. To get your loan. So, could you imagine doing that? How many trips you have to make on the exact same road? Over and over and over and over and over and over again. I know the math isn't that hard, but come on, I'm wearing shoes. It'll take me forever to count to 20. It would, yeah, it took me a long time to get that initial 20,000. I think I went for a couple extra runs just to make sure I had money for fuel and whatever else, because I wasn't sure what I was getting. So I purchased the truck. I got the money, I got the loan, I purchased the truck, and then I started going everywhere and anywhere. So yeah, just 1 second, guys. Sorry guys, don't know if you guys realize that or not, but yeah, that was distracted driving. That's why I was all over the place. Got a phone call from the missus, and she wanted to know if there's anything she needed to bring home. So I bought the truck, and I was actually, what I did was just to see some of the countryside, because it was driving me nuts driving up and down that road so many times. Is I did take the truck for an extended trip, and you get time. Like that's a cool thing, because like I'm just going to show you here. I got 11 minutes left before I get to where I need to get to, and if I scroll back, it says I have 5 hours remains, 5 hours and 7 minutes before I get to where I need to get to. So, so I could go on a little jaunt if I wanted. It costs more fuel, you get a little bit more money and wear and tear and everything of that nature. So, oh come on. I mean, they're polite, I guess, but I'd rather have him drive by than to sit there and wait for me. But yeah, so I went on a couple little joyrides. I crossed because the town that I was delivering to had a ferry in it. And so, yeah, I hopped on the ferry, which cost my company money, by the way. And if I owned a company and somebody decided to take a ferry trip that cost over $500 just because they want to see the countryside, they would be fired. But, you know, my guy was a great guy. I had a wonderful boss. He was great. He kept me employed. He gave me all that stuff, so, yeah. But anyway, I'm here. I'm gonna drop off this truck, and then come on. And so yeah, like I said, I seen a bit of the countryside, and it was good. I enjoyed myself, and then again, I seen a little bit more of the countryside when I went to. I went out of the country, just driving on the road. I did a toll road, and then I turned around and came back. So yeah, had to pay like another $97 each way past the toll road. So I was again, I was kind of happy. I had to see some of the countryside. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, damn it. I missed this. This game does have a little bit of a learning curve. I do know how to back up a truck. So thank God that is for really, I think, maybe. Come on. Look at my professionalism here. And yeah, so this is one thing you need to learn. I mean, I could have just did this the simple and easy way and called it a shift, but you know, you should have a little bit of something to do this thing. And I can hit enter and skip this whole thing and lose my bonus of experience points, not money. Not losing money. Oh. Okay, you know what? Screw this. Hit enter, lose my bonuses and everything else. Made some money. Whatever. So, you can see this is as far as I've gotten so far. But anyway, thank you very much for coming in and enjoying my journey across country. I'm going to end now. And we'll pick this up again. Thank you for joining me, the 40-year-old gamer. And I hope to continue on this thing for as long as I can. So have yourself a good day out there, and remember, I don't know what to remember. Okay, bye.